Is my camera visible?
Yes.
Okay, sir. So, sir, we are all from DJ Sanghvi College of Engineering, all four of us, and we are in the same class from the Department of AI/ML, and we are currently in our third year.
Okay.
Yes, and like it is our second hackathon.
Okay. Second hackathon. So can all of you come on screen?
So I think right now it's just me and Shrey in the meet.
Can you switch on the camera?
So hello.
So, Prasiddhi, where are your other teammates?
Well, they are traveling and they have several network issues right now, so they were unable to join.
So, how will you present now?
Well, we had already, like deployed everything on GitHub, so I have the access of that.
Okay.
I pulled the repository into my VS Code and I used like Docker and stuff. So like everything is there on the screen. So if I'll screen share and Shrey and I will, like flow through the presentation and the tech part of it.
All right. You guys can
Even
start.
Shrey cannot come on camera.
Hello. Am I
Shrey, can
audible?
you come on camera? Or you also have a challenge?
Am I audible? Hello.
I can
Yeah,
hear
you're
you.
audible.
My camera is not working actually. I don't know why. Can I maybe
Okay.
rejoin?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
you
you
can
can.
disconnect and rejoin, no problem.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
It's not working. Hello.
Hello.
I
Have
can
you
hear you,
turned on
Shrey.
your camera?
Yeah, it's not working actually. I don't know why.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, no worries. Like you can go ahead.
Okay.
May I share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a moment. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So I'll just start with a brief introduction of ourselves. We are Team LITCODE. We consist of 4 members: Rajvi, myself, Pranav, and Shrey. So this is the problem statement that we have chosen, the sales forecasting problem, and how we can integrate that sales model with using like our Gen AI. And this is the solution that we made use of, that we are going to use an interactive chatbot as an interface. So the user can basically give prompts in its own, like in their own natural language, and basically from that we extract the particular dates that is needed, and accordingly we can forecast the data based upon the past data sets that we have uploaded. And it can also predict trends, whether it has increased compared to a few years ago, or like where there's a decrease, so on and so forth. These are basically the components of our model. We like have a sales prediction model, right? We are using Profit for training like our historical sales data and using it for forecasting. Our chatbot is basically Gen AI based, so we are making use of LangChain. We made use of the GPT Mini 4.0 model, and basically the middleware layer would be our LangChain. We used it for integrating our LLM into the app. So the data set, we got it from like Kaggle. It has various categories. We have like product ID, category, date, everything. The model, as I said before, is Profit. And basically we are we can predict it. We can predict these sales for like a particular range, like from this date to a start date to an end date, or we can also predict it for singular dates as well. And we can also refer back to the past data, like the agent can answer those particular questions. For integration, as I said before, LangChain we have used along with the chatbot, and we have made use of like SQL for like our database. And for deployment purpose, we decided to use Docker because it has opportunity for scalability, structured, and like it's pretty simple for us to be able to
So,
scale it.
Prasiddhi, just a minute. So you've used
Yes,
ChatGPT over here, right? GPT model.
Open
Uh,
API. Yes, sir.
OpenAI.
Yes, Open
Okay.
AI.
Okay.
Yes. So can I show you the working?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically for our basic interface, we made use of Streamlit. So in this Docker file, everything has been like loaded. So
Can you show
it
me a
takes
data
around
set
five to
first? Can
six.
you show me a data set?
So this is basically the data set that we have used, and this is a pre-processed data set. The original one we have not stored over here. We
No, that's okay.
basically
Whatever you are
pre-processed it.
using for your this demo. So you have a training data set. What is this? Date, store, number one,
Item
item
and
number one,
sales.
and sales in quantity. So you have got one for
Yes,
training and one for testing. Okay.
yes, sir.
So
Okay.
this is actually a dummy
We have
data
got,
set, which was dated from
yes,
2013 to 2014, 2017. So
yep,
that was quite old. So we had to offset the date according to our requirements to make it more recent.
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Come back to
So,
your
so
demo. Yeah. Yeah. Show me a demo.
yes, so firstly, we built the Docker thing. It took 5 to 6 minutes for this thing to get built over here, and it's so whatever installations and things had to be done. This thing, the Docker handle, it took 5 to 6 minutes for that, and then when you run it using this command, we open this particular URL, and it leads us to this particular page. Firstly, it asks us to give us the Open API key, OpenAI API key. So we have it like right here. So upon inputting this and pressing enter, it recognizes, and if the API key is like verified, then we get this basic prompt that how can I help you today. Then we can supposedly right now the data set that we offset it from 7 years, it's now from 2020 to 2024 instead of 2013 to 2017. So if we want to predict data for today, which is 15 Jan 2025, so I can just command over here, predict the sales for 15 Jan 2025. I can use any format of the date and it will recognize that, it will extract that. So in LangChain also we make use of tools which are basically functions that the agents use.
So
So
what
we
are the
can
kind
just
of
see,
agents you use? LangChain agents.
yes, sir. So
Okay.
this is all mentioned in the code over here, but I'll just show you like the working as well first. So this is for the 15th Jan thing. And over here, we can even, like I said, we can specify one date or we can specify start date and end date as well. Otherwise, even if you don't like, like specify these particular dates, it can still recognize. Like suppose if I ask like, what date is it today? And then like basically if I ask that, predict sales for 2 days starting today, it will recognize that the 2 days from today would be 16th and 17th, and the range is 2 days. So basically it will just predict over here as well. And I can also compare it with the sales. Like if I say that you compare these sales, I don't have to re-specify, compare these sales with these sales 2 years ago, supposedly, if I want to go back. So it just starts thinking these buffering thing. It goes back to it sends a query basically to your SQL database that we have made.
So what is the database you used? I
And
mean, the CSV files you put it into some kind of a database.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is
So
the
then
database you
it will
used?
give us so it was
We are
from
using
a particular,
SQLite.
SQLite. Okay.
yes,
Yep.
yes. So then it also predicts, like it also does it. It is slightly lower. It gives us the previous values and the like current values as well. So like this is what it
So
can do.
can I check the effectiveness of your model? Okay, how accurate your model is. Can I ask you to
Yes.
predict for say 15th January, predict
Hmm.
sales for 15 January 2023?
Predict sales for. Oh, so it will not predict it because the data is from 2020 to 2024. So it wouldn't be able to like
Just try it out. Just
go
try it
back.
out
I can
because I
just,
want to see the
okay.
effectiveness. So I want to see how close your prediction is to the actual value. Just try it out.
It cannot predict on.
Try
Okay,
it out.
okay. 2023.
Yeah. Enter.
Okay. Thirteen units, so and it matches with the data over here as well.
So because it has been trained on it, so it's probably picked that. Okay. Is there any date? Okay. So you are talking about 25. Okay. I think this makes sense because it is already trained on the data. So it is picking up the right thing. Okay. Makes sense. But technically speaking, whatever. So there is something like a concept of a true positive. In this case, it's a true positive. It could also be a false positive. That means probably it is 13 units, but it shows 12.5 or 12 units. Then it could possibly be a,
Understood.
yeah. So something other, again, that is
Understood.
more of a classification use case, but this is one way you can test it. Okay, that's just my thought. Okay. Uh,
Yes, sir.
Now, is there anything we can do? So this is only pure sales, right? Do you have
Yes,
something on
sir. Pure
inventory?
sales. Um, no, sir, nothing on inventory. First, we thought that it should be able to do with the basic function, which is the sales forecasting part, and that part also took us quite a while to like implement through it because we had to learn a bit of LangChain and
Okay.
understand how these things are like interconnected and
Can you
stuff.
show me your code?
Yes, sir. So we basically, this is the main part of our code, which is the agent PY code. Over here, so first we have had multiple imports. So we have like LangChain imports, the agent executor and the create React agent, whatever we have, it will basically create these particular agents, which will be able to use these open API
So show me your
tools. We have
React
got our
agent. Show
prompt
me your React
template.
agent. Show me your React agent code.
Okay, it's yes, yes, sir. So these are the tools basically, and
Which are the tools you have used?
okay. So basically we have used three particular tools. So this was predicting the range. So it could be even in the form of the string or any sort of input that we give. So over here, we have used like a demo thing to just show how it works. If we give a
Mhm.
range of dates, like you can see, and then it will give you the output based on that. So basically over here, it's using the file path over here. We are loading our particular model, our pickle model, and then we have like it's predicting on our JSON data. We have got like our start date, end date. It will basically from the whatever prompt that we have given it, it's gonna like strip, like basically it's gonna extract that particular thing. It will convert it into its standard format and accordingly predict it. Make future data frame. It's basically using that particular model that we are asking it to predict, and then it gives us the particular forecast. That's the
So are you
first
doing
tool.
some forecasting
Then
also in your model?
spec Yes, sir. So like over here, when I showed, like, compare it with 2 years ago, the particular data. So it said that it is slightly lower. And if I put some other dates or, it will give increase. The sales increased, the sales decreased.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And then the second tool is for specific date. This was for the range. And if a specific date is given, then for that also, like similar function only, but we have just defined it. And then date now, it should be able to recognize what date it is today. So that thing. And this is basically we are creating the agent. So over here, as we used SQLite, like the SQL tools. So whatever database that we have, that and the LLM that we have used, and we are using it to predict. So it should take in these particular tools, the specific date one and also the range one. So that's what it has taken. And then it was just, these are the thoughts basically. The commented out part is just a demo kind of a thing. And then the agent has been like created through this function, and then we have executor as well. Key tools will be the selected list of tools that we have over there. Then the chat history part, it should be able to, like, basically when I said, the data from starting today 2 days ago, and then in the next I said you compare it with these particular sales, so it should have chat history, as it should have access to the chat history as well. So that is what we have done over here.
So are you showing their last few prompts also as part of chat history, or that functionality is not there right now? So assuming I
Sorry,
asked
sir.
some queries in my last, so assuming I have logged in into the system and I
Yes, sir.
am basically asked some 2 or 3 queries, and
Hmm.
probably I log out and log back in tomorrow. Okay. So will I be able to see
Yes.
some of the prompts that I have made or questions I have raised into the system? Can I reuse or I have to type them again?
So I think you would have to type them again, because we haven't had, like, we did not implement anything about logging in and logging out. We could do that as an improvement probably.
No,
That,
login logout is fine, but only thing is in case there is a history of my previous prompts and I want to just
yes,
reinitiate those prompts and instead of typing it
go
again.
back to it basically, like how ChatGPT offers over here in the site, right?
And can I make it voice activated? This one.
Yes, so like we can modify the code slightly, and we can also include voice as well. But
Hmm.
for simplicity and for displaying purpose, like first we decided to just focus on, being able to recognize prompts first.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And that is why we used like Docker, basically, whatever things that you want to add, and when the sales keep increasing, when the scalability needs to be increased, it will be like easier to maneuver that using Docker. And well, basically, like, this is our code. The model file is over here, and yeah, the requirements and everything like has been done. This is basically everything has been uploaded in like one of our GitHub things. We even have a README file which explains how we are supposed to, what technologies have been used, and how are we supposed to run the Docker, and how are we supposed to access and the usage and the examples as well. So like it's
So, Prasiddhi, tell me something. With the frequent change in the LLM and all of that, so if we deploy this kind of a
yes,
solution into some organization, how do we make sure that the frequent
yes.
changes in the LLM will not affect the solution after it's being deployed?
Well,
And how do you,
any
how do you find,
how,
recommend, what kind of recommend or resolution do you say for that? What are the recommendations you're in?
well, if the LLM keeps like getting updated, like after you deploy a particular app or a model, the work does not end there. There has to be maintenance, because there will be updates, there will be certain clashes based upon the feedback as well. So you have to keep making changes to the code, I believe, to keep it up to date and to ensure that the accuracy is maintained.
So Prasiddhi, can you, I mean, share some issues that you faced because you must have been doing all these things in your class, in your college, but over a period of time,
Yes.
you may have felt the need to change something. So what were the kind of issues you faced while building this and
So
probably integrating the agentic and AI and other things into that?
yes, sir. So firstly, when we decided we have to use LangChain, we were having difficulty trying to find a model which goes well with it. So before trying, right now the model that we used is Profit, but before we tried to use ARIMA, we tried to use Halt Winter model as well. But there were certain clashes that were happening. We were not able to integrate the layers, and we tried to debug everything. Like maybe we tried to make the data set like more clean. We tried to ensure that the layers were being able to like get integrated, but that was not happening. And then basically Pranav came up with the idea of Profit, he's like, it is something that like was given like by Facebook, and it is kind of simpler to implement it. And basically it's also like kind of open source in nature. Basically it will also kind of like generate a model that will suit your database needs, basically according to whatever data that you are using. So when we went into that, and even langchain was like a new concept for us, so we ensured that instead of like looking at videos or some things, we directly referred the langchain documentation part. And how do we all like after even all of this, how are we supposed to give it into the streamlit interface? So there was a separate section for that, and we used that as well.
So,
There
Prasiddhi,
was an
tell me something.
issue.
A
Yes.
team of four people, what were the roles played by each member? And how did you all sing, probably who came up with this idea and what were the roles played by each one of you?
So like, you're asking participation into this hackathon. We got to know about this hackathon
No, no, no,
through
no, no, no,
Rajvi.
no, no.
Okay.
From a
Then
technical perspective, what was
technical
the role
perspective.
played by each person in this project?
Each person. Okay. So the PPT part that was there, it was basically created by Rajvi. And even in the tech part, the different parts actually. We did not keep a track of who did what, but basically Pranav, Shrey, I and Rajvi, we all sat on like G meets, and one person screen shared, and basically as they typed out things, they were getting errors. So we were just suggesting, "Ki, you try out this thing, and if arima is not working, we should search for models." So like I try to search for like different models on Hugging Face. Shrey also like help with finding out other ways of trying to integrate with the model and the database first, because first we had to integrate the model with the database, and then we had to integrate like this model thing. It should be able to predict, and whenever the predictions are being made in the start, it was not able to predict for range. So how do we ensure, how do we create a separate tool for that? What tools are, how do we implement all of this? So Pranav asked me to create like this tool was created by him. So maybe the specific date one was created by me. And like so on and so forth, we basically try to integrate and do it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're all, I mean, third year students, right? DJ
Yes,
Sanghvi.
sir.
All four of you.
Yes, sir. All four of us.
Okay, because I know a Rajvi Shah. I don't know. I think, but I know. I'm not sure if she was from
Yeah,
your
she
college.
said that she interned at your company.
Ah, so it's the same Rajvi. Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay, okay. Excellent. So nice work done.
Thank you.
And that's it from my side. Deepa or Uday, anything?
No, sir.
Do we have any more teams pending, or we are done?